You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 339 of the Batter Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I brought my ketchup today. I'm ready to make it rain in this bitch.
Oh, I feel bad for our guest. He doesn't know what a pain in the ass
He has no idea. He has no idea.
He doesn't know the disdain you have for the city of Chicago. All right. And as the intro was playing, I knew his name was Joe, but I wanted to double check. And as I saw that he does something with hobbies on SI, and I'm starting to get back into that. So I guess I could ask him about that as we go on the show, because it's something that I didn't do for about 30 years, and it just randomly hit me this year that I wanted to get into it again. And I guess we'll talk about that a little bit. But celebration time, bitches. It was a fun day today. Everybody's in a good mood after last night's comeback win. We got the fireworks going. Not sure how that happened.
Blasting off randomly.
Right, that's the mood right there. I'm feeling it. Everybody around me that I was talking to about the game was feeling it. Chris, how has your day been? The mood has been absolutely amazing today.
Well, I do need to buy more ketchup, Don Capacito. That's how much. Well, I try not to use it too much, but yes, I do need to buy more ketchup. And I'm not going to keep drinking Blake Keitlinger. I'm not
hungover either. I didn't get hungover. It was only a couple shots.
No, yeah, it wasn't that bad. We're not babies.
No.
But no, it's been great. It's been great seeing the misery on LAFC fans on Twitter. Or X,
they're waiting for Dodo to get the axe.
Yeah.
And,
everything is imploding as we speak in Los Angeles.
And after we got done with our post game, Vancouver at the death score a goal. They beat Pumas. They advance. Oh. So it's an all MLS side on one side, Liga MX on the other. So we are guaranteed to have an MLS representative in the final. Yes. Miami will be going to Vancouver for the first leg on April 24th. It'll be a 10:30 start our time. And then on April 30th, which is a Wednesday, they'll have the second leg here in Miami. We visited Vancouver, I think, twice. I want to say since Messi's been here, no?
We have. Yes.
And he's yet to make the trip. Correct.
Yes.
So
that is right.
They are hoping that he makes the trip. I mean, you would figure, right, that he would make it for the CONCACAF champions. It's just, I don't think he's ever taken that long of a flight.
Well, I think he has to make it, right? Like, I mean, at this point, there's no way you could, Messi can't Chicago them.
But everybody complains about that pitch.
Or Houston them.
Yeah. No, because Messi doesn't like Chicago. I think he might dislike Chicago as much as you do.
Yeah, I think he does.
Because he never goes, and we'll get into that in a second. But I would assume he finally makes that trip to Vancouver. I hope he makes that trip to Vancouver. Although I do hear that the pitch is atrocious.
Well,
people really hate it.
Well, isn't that Vancouver pitch? And I don't know if you guys in the chat can help us out, but like, I think it's like a sort of like a hybrid, like turf, grass, grurf. Is it a grurf field?
Whenever we spoke into West Coast podcasters and they talk about that pitch, they say that the ball just bounces differently there. And because it bounces differently, it takes some players, a couple minutes to adjust to that, or a half to adjust to it. So it's definitely an advantage for Vancouver. Soccer Daddy here saying this is a synthetic pitch. But regardless, I'm excited. We're in semifinals, and we are that much closer to glory. But we move on. Although it was fun celebrating last night, there is another game going on this weekend already. We got Chicago. We are going to Soldier Field, and we're playing against the Chicago Fire. Triple G, he's got the Chicago Fire. They started off hot.
They're looking good.
Bomba's balling. Kuipers is balling. I keep forgetting how to mention how to pronounce the kid's name. Is it Sinkerniggle or Sinkernickel, Sink or something? Zink. I'm gonna call him Zink. But he's balling out on the right side. We got our boy Joe Dirt, aka Chris Brady, is balling. So
Chris Brady's a
I'm
god.
very excited. Yeah. I know.
God.
He's a favorite on the Battered MLS fan show. So
Yes.
we are excited to talk about this. So for that, we got our guy Joe joining us. Where's you at, Joe? There you are. Here we go. Joe, what's going on, Joe? How are you doing, sir?
I am fabulous. How are you guys? Thank you for having me. Joe Dirt for Chris Brady. I'm very curious if he gets the reference because he's 21 and that's like
he's 21. I thought he
There's
was
no
21.
He looks 20. He looks like he's 34.
Yeah,
no, I thought he was like 27.
No, he started, he's been a starter in MLS for 3 years. It's kind of bonkers, but yeah, 21-year-old, it's always curious what what references, I'm 28, so it's not like there's a real age difference, but there's some where he's like, I have no idea what you just referenced, and I just have to eat it and just move on.
Yeah. No, and I call him Joe Brady because of the whole Joe Dirt thing. And people always call me. I was like, dude, you're an idiot. You don't know. I know. I get it. I call him Joe Dirt, so I call him Joe Brady. But
yes,
that we love because we do a Battered MLS fan show also.
Yep.
And we have our favorites, right? We don't like to always talk about the big guys, and Joe Dirt is one of our favorites.
Well, he's a solid goalie. It's been interesting to watch his journey. When you watch these young kids, especially a goalkeeper, he's a confident dude. And this year he's adjusting to a new system. So it's been interesting. He's been playing great. He saved the Fire a whole lot of points this year. They haven't had a clean sheet, but he's inching there. And it's going to be interesting. His whole national team future is kind of up in the air right now. That's a whole different story for a different day. But the Chris Brady hive is real in Chicago. And, the Fire use him in every way possible because he's a really helpful player to have both commercially and on the pitch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. All right. So Triple G got on there. Whoever was not a Chicago Fire fan that follows the U.S. men's national team, for some reason they were praying for his downfall. I don't know why people hate him so much, but whatever.
It doesn't make any sense.
Nah, I mean,
I kind of get it. Like his system is frustrating for international soccer, right? Because it requires such perfection and understanding of his system and the way you want to play and understand the way you work with your teammates. And like just watching in the short term, I understand like the way that they've progressed the Fire. This is in such a short amount of time, just working together, but that's been over 12, 14 weeks. And you just never get that with the national team.
Right.
So
yeah.
I understand that.
A certain amount of time.
But yeah, it's just, he definitely got it was an interesting time for him with the U.S. men's national team, and people love to have opinions, especially there's a lot of faceless people who do, but then, it's also a lot of people.
Like Mr. Krabs. But Mr.
It's
Krabs,
just-
his
too
first
much to
go
ask
round,
for.
he was winning trophies. Like he was beating the teams in front of him.
Yep.
His first go round.
Yeah, exactly. It's just everything's a cycle, and he had his moments, but by the time he left, it was about time, and we'll see what ends up happening. But he got a lot out of that team, and he seemed to work for that team at that time. And at a certain amount of time, you just got to change the voice, and now they're with definitely a different voice of Pochettino. So we'll see.
All right, so Chicago off to a hot start. Did you see the hot start coming? What have you thought about the start for the Chicago Fire?
Well, I didn't see 3 wins consecutively on the road happening. I'd say, you watched the season opener and you could see there was progress, but that you could see that it was also going to take a while. So that was interesting. They still haven't won at home. They had a draw against DC in week 2 where, Jacob Morrell had that bicycle kick that was insane. Like watching it in the press box, it was so cool to see. Everyone described it as a once in a lifetime goal. And I can confidently say it's one of those that you will remember. And it's like, who's Jacob Morrell? Well, he had that goal that one time. So, they lost a point that way. It was the last kick of the game. So you're thinking, oh, this is going to be another Chicago Fire season after that. And then they rip off 3 straight road wins, which really was surprising. And it showed throughout that they can score. This team can score. And with that front 3 of Jonathan Bamba, Philip Zinkernagel, you are not the only person. So the PA announcer was calling him Zinkernagel the last game. And I was freaking out. One of the Fire staffers is like, I will fix this. And it got fixed. So kudos to them. But Philip Zinkernagel and Hugo Kuipers, I think Hugo Kuipers might lead MLS in XG right now, which is, who cares really?
But
But
start.
yeah, but that's what he is. He's a finisher right in front of goal. So
Mhm.
if you can just give him opportunities and he will thrive. So there's that. And then last week, if you watch the Red Bull game, it was an understandable loss against a good team, but they had their chances late. They just didn't finish them. And there were a lot of ways that they could have gotten a result on the road. So it's one of those where it's MLS. You're going to lose games. You're going to lose games on the road. Red Bull are a good team, but it showed some issues, and the Fire have had defensive issues. And it's, we don't know who's going to start at center back this weekend. There are a lot of options, but it has been shocking how, proficient they have been at scoring goals with, rotating midfield, rotating center backs and outside backs. It's just been a lot of chaos, and they've still managed to score goals consistently.
And let me tell you,
Keitlinger, nobody can touch your last name.
Yeah,
but this is a great cosign though, Danny. Keitlinger co-signing Zinkernagel as a top.
Well, what's even better is that Zinkernagel's with a Z, and you don't see those Z's very often.
No,
better.
People can't buy the jerseys often. You got to get them custom because it doesn't fit on the back of most. You got to get different letters. So it was an issue at one of the jersey events. They didn't realize it ahead of time. So they're like, hey, we will take care of you. Here's the jersey, but just come meet me at the actual place with the real printer and we'll take care of you because his name is that long. But he's an interesting dude. He's a floor raiser for them. And if he can stay healthy throughout the year, he provides some quality that can help you just create goals out of nothing, or at least ensure that you have decent possession throughout a game.
Now, I know you said that that Kuipers is leading possibly the league in XG, but was it safe to say that Bamba is the guy that kind of stirs the drink? Is the straw that stirs the drink, as Reggie Jackson would say?
Jonathan Bamba was my dark. Like, I don't gamble, so I was telling people,
For MVP.
I was like, why not? Because no one knew who he was in MLS other than a few people who watched Lille a few years ago, and he is so fast and talented and has the composure that can dominate in MLS. You see with these high-profile guys from Europe who aren't the top tier, who aren't the guys who go near Miami, right? So who Chicago gets, when you get a Bamba that people just don't really know about, but he has the talent, it's just a matter of health and happiness and also giving him talent around him. He's at Celta de Vigo, which was chaos. So his last stop, you can't really evaluate. So he's the type of guy who really can change everything just like that. He's the type of dude who can get you a point if you're down 1-0 and have done nothing the entire game at stoppage time. So he really is the type to change everything. But I also think he feels less of a burden because he knows if he creates chances, Kuipers is the type of clinical finisher who can finish in front of net.
Well, it's crazy because Bamba is a huge threat. Zinkernagel scored 2 goals in the 2 games prior to the Red Bulls, right? He scored against Montreal, scored against Vancouver. I mean, Tati, listen, saying versus Chicago play a B team, if this was last year, I would have agreed with you. But this year, I don't think that's a good idea in any way, shape, or form. Right, Danny?
I think he's saying that Miami's going to rotate, but I don't think that's happening. Mascherano's doesn't rotate, unfortunately.
Not heavily.
Messi might now go. I don't know. We'll talk about that, but he doesn't really rotate, unfortunately. Now Bamba got his first goal of the year this past weekend, but I believe he was leading the league in assists. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah.
But he is a baller. But before we get into the actual roster and the team and the way they play, how is the attendance looking for the game?
They told me today that they're nearing 50,000 in a 60+ thousand venue. That's pretty good,
Yeah, absolutely.
People are so skeptical after the last few years, and when it's not it's flipped this year. Well, not flipped because the inverse was July last year, but the game in August being in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, excuse me, that now makes it so there was less of a build up. So there's still the media excitement, and they can sell tickets up to the day of. And I think they will sell a lot of tickets this weekend because maybe Messi will play. Why not?
I think Messi's
there's a chance, but at least
I'll get that out of the way. I think Messi's playing this weekend.
I do too. I think everyone does.
Yeah.
Danny, if I'm not mistaken, I think Chicago like had to apologize for all their fans, give them tickets to the next
Oh,
game.
that's right.
And they
That's
had
right. That was smart.
that Jason Derulo perform at the end of the game or something like that. Remember?
I do remember.
Like it was a mess. It was a mess. And Jason Derulo's from Broward, from South Florida. Like, what are they doing?
Jason Derulo is just the guy who will do any show after a sporting event. I mean, Live Golf, he's their dude at every one of them. It's they had issues. A lot of it is MLS driven. I can tell you that for sure. So the Fire just, it went poorly. It was a premier event, and it also doesn't help when you have that big stadium that you can oversell for that game because compared to normal, they still draw close to 20,000 fans a game, which is great for MLS, right?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
in a 62,000 person stadium,
it looks empty.
Great. Yep.
Right. I think Messi's gonna go.
He'll at least come off the bench, right? Like, there's no reason. He played well, and if
they don't have a midweek game next week,
they don't have a midweek game, and also it matters in the league to get points against conference opponents. And if it's a 1 or 2 goal game with 15, 20 minutes left, he's shown he can score out of nothing. So why not if he's healthy?
And in the next 4 weeks, Messi has 4 huge appearances. I'm not going to say huge games, but 4 huge appearances. Because Chicago, huge stadium. The week after that, they have Columbus in Cleveland.
And
they're playing in the Brown Stadium.
What a terrible location.
So
and then
dumb.
they got
so dumb.
Then they got the appearance in Vancouver for the Champions Cup. He can't miss that. And then we have the second leg. So he has 4 huge appearances over the next 4 weeks. And I don't think he's going to miss any one of them. Those are huge for the league, for Inter Miami. I think he's going to play in all of them. Does he start in all of them? I don't know. But if he starts, he's going to play the 90 minutes. That I can tell you without a doubt.
And Danny, you totally forgot they play FC Dallas. Remember, every time we watch their highlights have like half the stadium covered. Who knows if they try to move that thing into Dallas Cowboys Stadium?
No. No, they would.
Oh, that one's at home.
Yeah, 110,000.
No, that's right.
No,
that's
but
here at home.
That's a home game. That's a home game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Frisco this year is a bit chaotic. I can tell you. I managed to go the one time where it was colder in Frisco than it was in Chicago. I don't recommend doing that. But that stadium, it's actually really cool because the Soccer Hall of Fame's right there too. So you can really kind of take in. Oh yeah, it's attached. So there's a couple bars. You can make a little afternoon.
I had no idea we had a Soccer Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, U.S. Soccer. I mean, it's 3 rooms. It's a lot of old jerseys. It's kind of interactive. I had a good time. It was a great way to kill an hour and a half.
Oh my goodness, he's correct. Frisco, Texas. National Soccer Hall of Fame.
Did you doubt him?
I didn't think it was real. Like,
I didn't know.
You made it sound like it was a dungeon with a couple jerseys slapped on the wall.
I mean, it was a lovely. There is a Messi jersey in there because it had the reigning MLS MVP jersey in there.
Location.
Oh, so you recently went?
Oh yeah, I was there for Fire FC Dallas. A month ago.
Yeah. Okay. I had no idea. Now I will tell you that it's horrible on TV. I don't know why they put that tarp on the hard cam side, or facing the like. It looks so bad.
Yeah.
I think next year they're doing the opposite side, so it'll look good.
How long did it take?
Texas, man, Texas.
Yeah.
And then Mike V's asking, wasn't the Dallas game moved? The time supposedly moved, I believe, for Miami. It showed up for a while as it was going to start at midnight. That's not going to happen. It's not going to be at midnight. But that's still up in the air. It's TBD, as they say. All right.
It would be kind of fun.
I mean, some people were saying that I wouldn't mind a midnight game. I don't want no midnight game. What the hell? How am I going to find the babysitter? So Chicago, we know Triple G. How is it that they're looking as far as tactics and formation? Like, what if we haven't watched Chicago yet? What could we expect to see as far as the formation and kind of just their style of play?
So if you've watched his U.S. men's national team, you've watched this system. It's the 4-3-3. 3 attackers. You're going to build through the midfield. You're going to build out the back. Chris Brady, the goalkeeper. You'll work through the center backs and the outside backs. You'll have a midfielder, the 6 usually. You hang back and then work through one of their other midfielders, and that's where Bamba and Zinkernagel become an issue. And you'll see Hugo Kuiper strike back a lot. So it's that type of soccer. They will dominate possession at times, but they're more interested in operating out of a high press. So that's really where you say, why is Tom Barlow the primary backup behind Hugo Kuipers? It's because he can sprint just kind of like Hugo Kuipers can out of that high press and provide similar physical traits. So it's that similar type of system, right? And it works when it works, it's great. But there are at times mistakes at the back. It is the classic when playing out the back goes wrong system, because you will just have those mistakes. Like if you look at the Columbus game, one of the goals that was given up was just a pass that didn't connect, and it was terrible.
The first game of the season.
Yep, and it was a heartbreaker.
That game frustrated me so much. Everybody was so hyped about Columbus. They scored 4 goals. 2 goals were basically given to them, an own goal and then that bad giveaway.
Yeah, Columbus is good, right? But
yeah, no,
you know,
I was really poop talking them after that for first week. They've shut me up since then. But
don't blame me. And nice little acquisition this week, because Philly don't want to pay anybody. But that's a discussion for a different day too.
Yeah, that's gonna be a discussion for the battered MLS fans. They randomly get Gazdag. What is Philly doing?
I don't know what Philly's doing. They're drunk.
We got to get Todd to talk about that. All right. So if you were to
you guys are super disciplined, because you guys are literally one of the top 3 teams that don't suffer yellow cards. You don't have that many fouls committed. So as far as like discipline, you guys are pretty solid with that.
Yeah, but they also haven't played a team like Inter Miami, right? So I think that legitimate, like, there's a benefit to slowing the game down against Inter Miami, right? So if they can't control possession the way they want, and the referee can give away a couple fouls before it's a yellow, why wouldn't you play that way, right? Like, I think it makes sense. So I'd be shocked if they follow that same formula. But yeah, they've played relatively disciplined. You see the PK they conceded last week. Kellen Acosta just decked a guy, who harmed him last week. So hopefully that's not a trend for Fire fans, and we'll see. It will be interesting because they just simply haven't faced a team like Inter Miami yet.
Well, they played Vancouver and they beat them 3-1.
Yeah, but shorthanded Vancouver as well, and it's just not.
I don't know.
It's not the same.
A shorthanded Vancouver just beat Pumas last night.
I know, that was so fun.
Vancouver's dangerous.
Yeah. That guy who scored that first goal was pretty interesting to see. It gave me something nice to talk to the coach about this morning at fire training. Hey, did you like that goal? Yeah. It was something else. He's like, it took me a minute to realize what had happened. My wife did not realize it was him. It was insane.
Well, Danny, in terms of attacking, they're one of the highest in terms of like the shooting percentage. Like, Chicago is for any of you guys in the chat that think that this is going to be like easy peasy lemon squeezy, you guys got it completely wrong.
What would you say is the strength of this team?
Goal scoring, which is a shocking thing to say. It hasn't been in the past few years. It hasn't been recently. This team hasn't made the postseason since 2017, right? If it had been, they'd made the postseason once, right? It's MLS.
You made the postseason once in the last 15 years, no?
Something like that. I think 09. Yeah. So maybe 16. Yeah. It's Fire fans are loyal is what that's proven. Because it's just not been great for a while, but they can score goals frequently, especially with this front 3 that should be available on Sunday. So that is one thing that has been really remarkable to see click that fast.
What about the weakness? What's the weakness of this team? Is it building out of the back?
It's not even just building out of the back. It's just momentary lapses defensively. They've made mistakes. They've given up goals that are preventable. You see the goal they gave up last week to Serge Ngoma. He's just Omar Gonzalez, who came on for Sam Rogers because he was injured. It's just ball watching instead of marking Ngoma, who's a lot smaller than him, right? All he had to do was get positioning. It wouldn't have been a foul, and, ball would have probably gone over his head. It stinks, but it's one of those things where you could see that he just kind of came off the bench cold. So it's one of that, just the center back room right now is in a bit of a state of flux. So you're not necessarily sure who's going to play. And the Fire have not played a clean game yet in 2025 defensively. So it would be, I don't think it would be, as a journalist, an educated place to be like, oh yeah, the Inter Miami game is where they're going to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough game. It's
they
definitely
got
a
some
tough
ballers.
game.
They got some ballers.
A few.
Now, as far as like, I'm just looking just randomly at stats. Like as far as corner kicks, you guys are one of the teams that take the least amount of corner kicks and have one of the top 7 least amount of pass attempts.
What the hell did you just say?
One of the least amount of pass attempts, top 8.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys don't pass that often.
They're willing to play out from the back, yes, but they want to operate on a counterattack. They want to operate out of the high press.
That press, yeah.
And what I've found is while they don't love the long passes out of the back from the goalkeeper, they don't necessarily mind that switch pass from the midfielder to the opposite side winger. So it's been Sergio Orahel Jr., Brian Gutierrez when he's been healthy, Sam Williams, a rookie who is prepared to go back to his spring semester at UNC, this spring, and then the Fire signed him, and then he earned a first team deal. So that's kind of a remarkable story in and of itself. He's 19. So they've had to rotate a couple of guys in there, but that's where they make their long passes. So it really comes down to the Fire are quite content to play with 30-35% possession because they know they can be clinical with their chances.
All right. So I know we talked about Bamba. We talked about Kuipers. I think those two are probably the only household is probably borderline, but let's say household names for the team.
Yeah.
If you were to say anyone else that maybe Inter Miami fans are going to watch this and then say, oh, we should look out for this player when we're watching the game because Joe told us this kid's going to be a baller or this guy is going to be a baller. Look out for him. Who would you say that is?
So
is Gutierrez playing?
Gutierrez, in Berhalter's words from today, Brian will go, but we'll see how much he can go. Pretty much.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means he'll start and play 45 or 60 minutes, or he comes off the bench for 15. So we'll see.
He's a baller.
Yeah. He is. He's legitimately gotten much bigger physically. He's another young guy. He's 21, 22, who. I've been covering the team for a couple of years, and you can just see how much more physically built he's got because these kids grow and then they need to put the muscle on. And Brian Gutierrez is the type of dude who he's also got a little bit of a mean streak in him too on the pitch, which I find incredibly charming for a dude who's an introvert and just kind of keeps to himself and his buddies mostly. So he's highly talented. He'd be that guy, but I think he's a little too mainstream at this point after getting the USMNT call-up, so I'd give you Sergio Orahel Jr., who's going to I'd be shocked if he doesn't start at midfield. He's 19, a homegrown guy. He made his MLS debut in 2022, didn't play in MLS for the last 2 years, was in MLS Next Pro with Fire 2, and had to get a start on opening day and hasn't, given up a spot. He's been a really good player. He made a mistake that led to a goal, even though Berhalter would contest it was a foul on opening night against Columbus. But he's been that guy in the midfield, largely on the left. He's operated a little bit on the right as well, who has made that long pass to the forwards. He's done it with Bamba a couple of times. He's done it with Zinkernagel, and he's made those connecting passes. And it was a major question mark coming into the season. He's another dude who grew physically. The first thing I said to him when I saw him after the offseason was, wow, you got bigger. He's like, you're not the first person to tell me that. I didn't notice. And I'm like, you're 19. Of course you didn't notice. So it's another one of those players who homegrown from Berwyn, just outside of Chicago. Nice kid from a good family. So he's a Chicago kid that everybody loves here. The fans really adore him. So it's an interesting thing. And if the Fire play well, just another name will be Andrew Gutman. He's had a great start to the year. So if the Fire do play well, Andrew Gutman will play well. And he's an MLS guy. So he's not under the radar, right? But he's a name that everybody knows in MLS.
The kid, Sergio or Joe's, how you pronounce the name?
Orahel Jr.
Orahel. I'm looking at his picture right now. He looks like he's 9 years old. Like he looks like a baby.
So I'm telling you, he's grown a lot in the last year, 6 months. And he's 19, right? So he's another one of these guys who's gone through the men's national team, the youth men's national team with the US. If he continues playing like this, he might get a senior national team call up soon. He's a really high-end player potentially, but I'm pretty sure he's in a contract year right now. So he's playing for a new contract, and as a homegrown, he could be in for a big, big raise if he continues to play like this.
Here comes the TAM money.
I mean, it would be nice to be 19 with that, right?
Absolutely. I'd take it. Living in Chicago, I'd take it.
Living anywhere. Oof. Well, not
No,
Cleveland, but you know.
no, not living
Yeah,
in
not
Cleveland.
Cleveland. What? Ohio?
Cleveland's probably the one. Is there a worse city in the country that I wouldn't want to live in?
There has to be
No.
Omaha, right? Like Omaha, like
Yeah,
I'd
but like
take Omaha.
people like Omaha that go
Des
there once a
Moines?
year. Des Moines tough, but you know,
Like-
Des Moines at least Des Moines knows what it is, right?
just saying.
Cleveland,
Napoleon Dynamite's from there.
From where?
I think from like Ohio, like Iowa.
No,
might
he
be
was Idaho.
Cleveland. Oh,
I wish
it
he was
could be.
from
It could be
Cleveland.
Idaho. It could be Idaho, Joe.
I watched
LeBron
that
doesn't
movie
even
within
claim
the last
Cleveland.
year. It's Idaho. I'm ashamed to admit that I know that.
Listen, Napoleon Dynamite's one of the top 5 movies of all time.
It's
Michigan's a full state, man. You're Xing all of Michigan.
Michigan's cool, man. There's a lot of fun stuff in Michigan.
Yeah.
Even like Detroit is awesome. I will not stand for Detroit slander. It's a great city.
Never
Some
been.
of the smaller towns. Oh, Detroit's a great time. For,
All I know is that they have
it's not a,
StockX.
I mean, yeah, if you want to spend a lot of money, have fun. But like,
To
if
buy
you
fakes.
yeah, but like Detroit City FC is a fun time. Detroit Tigers are a fun time. Like, it's actually a good place to spend 2 days. That's my Michigan
2 days.
plug.
He said 2 days. Okay.
Well, it's not that big. It's like there's only so much to do, right? Like,
I don't
unless
know.
you got
I have
family,
no idea.
move on.
Go to 8 Mile.
Yeah, teach their own.
All right.
And it is Idaho. You are right,
It
Joe.
is.
Napoleon Dynamite.
I
is-
went to
keep doubting
school to
Joe.
know that. I went to school to know that. Just,
You
yeah,
keep,
I got degrees for that.
Joe got 2 on you already. You fact checked him twice.
Please do. I want to hear. Like, I really don't mind being told I'm wrong either. So I really enjoy.
It's quick to call people out too. So
Please. Why not? Who cares? Like, the amount of people who get upset for being wrong about, especially like offhand comments. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh,
It's not
So,
important.
doesn't matter.
Joe, hypothetically, let's say, because I know earlier you told us you're not, but let's say hypothetically, I've never even heard of that city.
I
Psychiston?
mean, Missouri's not great. Missouri's not great.
I'll still take Missouri over Cleveland.
Yeah, St. Louis is fine. That's another city, but like you can spend a day there. But like, definitely go to a Cardinals game and drink a lot.
Oh, I would love to go to
Oh,
a Cardinals game.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, it's actually like a cathedral of baseball. I actually love Busch Stadium, but if it is still Busch Stadium, who knows baseball names anymore? But you know, it's a great.
Who do you hate more, the Cubs or the Packers?
So, definitely the Packers, because in a lot of ways, right? Because you
They're
grow
so
up with Cubs
pompous.
fans.
They're so pompous.
Yeah,
they're more
and
successful.
Oh,
there's that, but like, I get it. What else do they have, right? It's
Yeah.
Wisconsin. Like, what do they seriously, like Wisconsin Badger football? I grew up watching that because my dad's an alum, and it's depressing. It's slow, boring stuff. Wisconsin men's basketball is boring unless you like volleyball or women's hockey. You have nothing else.
yeah.
So I get it. It's their charming little town. They have to love it, or else they go bankrupt. So it's
And
cute.
You know what's wild is that a house for sale that was like right next to Lambeau Field. Like, it was literally for sale,
Yep.
and like the front yard is Lambeau Field. It's wild when I saw that,
Yep, and you
It's
can
in
buy
the
it
middle of
for
this
a
town.
comical price.
and it wasn't expensive.
It's a state. It's a
So-
lovely state. Wisconsin's delightful, but Green Bay is not my favorite place in that state.
Yeah.
You've traveled more than I have, but that's the beautiful thing about living somewhere in the middle of the country.
In the Midwest.
We're literally at the bottom of the bottom. Like, to get
Yeah,
out,
it takes us
it
10
takes
hours
forever.
just to get out of this state.
Yeah.
Dude, I understand. It's nice to have. It's good when you can get in the car and get some places too, and it's not
Right,
just
you-
Orlando.
Exactly. Yeah, that's literally the only place. That's 4 hours away.
Yeah, and like after 4 hours, I'm done. Like 6 is my max because that's like what I did for college.
You're still in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah.
That part of Florida, I'm not
6 will
stopping.
get you to 6 will get you over to UF.
Now it'll take you to Jacksonville. Well, it depends. If you're driving straight north, it'll take you to Jacksonville.
Yeah, and you can't stop after that for how long?
Nah.
I'm not.
So I know you said that you weren't, but hypothetically, let's say you're a degenerate gambler. And you put the house on Miami. You're like, I'm convinced that Miami's gonna win. I'm gonna put the house on Miami. But then it's game day, and you start getting a little trepidation. You start getting a little nervous. So you go and you look for Mascherano. You walk up to him and you whisper in his ear, "This is how you beat the Chicago Fire." What are you telling him?
You are going to actually generate chances and possession within your own third. And that might not actually generate shots in an abundance, but you need to hold on to the ball in your own half of the pitch. Because of the way the Fire play, you can really compact them defensively.
And draw them out.
You can draw them out. They've shown a propensity at this point of the year to make a couple mistakes. And when it's Miami, we talk about the lack of fouls. You're going to get the foul calls, right? And when it's Messi or Suarez or whomever over those free kicks, it's just a different game than most. The percentages increase. So that is where, if you're Mascherano, you just need to understand that this is going to be a chaotic game. I don't see this being 0-0, 1-1. This really screams kind of that 4-3 to me, which, I mean, is a neutral writer, here for it. That sounds fun. So it's going to be one of those high impact games because, like you can't stop an Inter Miami team if they're playing well. It's about how do you continue to match up with them and frustrate them and try to change things. So with Miami, if you stick to your game plan, there's no reason why you can't at least get a result on the road. And in this early stage of MLS season, a result on the road, 1 point, a 2-1 win is great. You will take that, no injuries any day of the week, because of how compact your schedule is right now. The mental toll of the game you guys played on Wednesday, which was insane. Just as someone watching it at home, it was so fun to watch because it's just chaos, right? Mm-hmm. And it's what we all, I think, love about this sport, like whatever team you do, is that things can change so quickly. And it is that Messi effect that first goal he had, where did that come from, right? You look at the goal mouth view and it's from nothing.
Chopped up the defense.
Yeah, and it's so little. And
gave him a little bit of space and he took it.
Yeah, exactly. I thought they did fine, LAFC defensively overall. So it's one of those games where if you're Miami, if you have your whole complement of players, play within your system and it will generate the chances. And then it's just on you to finish them, right? Like,
yeah,
Chris Brady will save some. Fire faced an insane amount of shots on goal this year, and he's shown an ability to save them. But get enough chances, right? You're going to score.
Yeah, no, look, we played against Toronto, and we had chances, and we didn't finish them. I can't imagine that happens 2 regular season games in a row.
It would be kind of – that game was just weird to watch, right? It didn't really make sense. And when you're watching it, also just understanding the calendar – you have to think as Inter Miami. It's where you kind of test the Mascherano of it all. Was would you take Messi out, right? Because you have to think your roster can beat Toronto or at least get a result against Toronto without Messi, right? And that's what I would think though with any MLS roster at this point. Toronto has not shown anything that shows they're dominant. And the fact that he's willing to play him in those circumstances is great for the consumer, right? I mean, Messi, this really kind guy. I think MLS sent an email this week for MLS season pass Messi gifted people memberships. I mean, what a courteous guy, thinking about the fans and especially the ones who don't already watch, who are definitely going to randomly turn on Fire Inter Miami instead of the Masters on Sunday. So it's going to be interesting. Possibly Yannick Bright is for real. It's going to be a game of goals. It's going to be a game of chances. This could be an all-time game in terms of what we see, just because both of these teams have the ability to score out of nothing in very different ways, obviously. And I just again, is the journalist who's ready to cover for whatever result. I'm very excited.
And real quick, shout out to Trukutu. I haven't seen Trukutu on here in a while.
Yeah.
So shout out to him.
That's
and at some point you mentioned that we're gonna get foul calls. Just want to put it out there. We're 10th in fouls suffered. So the top half.
Well, it's not even like a Miami gets foul calls thing. It's more that, especially when I watch Messi fouls, it's not like he didn't get fouled, right? Like this is
Well,
the
what I
art of
like
it.
about him is that he doesn't
Yeah.
flop. He's one of the few.
Well,
He doesn't. Yeah, he's not Luis Suarez.
Yeah, he's not Suarez, right? Like everyone who gets mad for the most part about the Inter Miami stuff, it's just because you have a Suarez to point at, and I don't blame him, right? Like
Me
it
either.
happens, and it's entertaining. I don't understand how he's played as much. Like I am eating so much crow just because I thought it was going to be a terrible signing because there was no way his body was going to hold up, right? And is he proven me wrong? I don't know what he's doing, whatever his special drink is, but like it works and it's super entertaining. And he plays for the fans. He's there every single game. And
My understanding is that they inject Cuban coffee into his knees before the games.
dude, wait, so Cafecito or what are we
Cafecito, that's
doing?
it.
Okay, perfect. Do we got
That's why
like
he came to Miami.
fine, right? Like I would love that. I'm not, if Miami needs a place, there are definitely places in Chicago where he can get that easily. Plenty of spots. I've got my place 3 blocks away from here. If I ever really need to feel like I need to crap my pants the entire day, that's what I go for.
All right, Chris, you got anything else? Or we're gonna go to predictions?
I think we should go to predictions because like Circus
All right.
Fun's already calling a 2-2,
2-2,
another tie.
Okay. All right. Well, Joe, it's that time of the show. We throw out our predictions for the game. It's gonna be an early game. It's a 4 o'clock. I think it's 4 or 4:30.
4:30 Eastern,
4:30 Sunday.
so 4:37, 4:39.
Yeah. And then it'll be 3:30 for you guys, I believe.
Oh yeah, right in the middle of the day, and then the women's team plays at 6, so it's never like these games can be 5 hours away from each other. So the reporters who cover both can do both. No, you have to overlap them, so I have to rush home.
Do you stay at the do you stay at the stadium watching the game? Okay.
Nah. I would if I could, but then staff has to stay around, and that's just I become a burden, so I wouldn't do that. But otherwise, having said that, I will happily go home, haul ass, take a shower at halftime, and then veg out on the couch while watching the second half of these people really exerting themselves while I'm in sweatpants.
There you go. All right. So prediction time. Joe, what are you thinking?
I really feel 3-3 is a result that I can live with saying because there's going to be goals. I don't know which team's going to win this game. Like, I just don't feel comfortable picking a team. So call me a weenie. I don't care. It is what it is. 5-7 on a good day. Profile me how you will. So 3-3 feels like a good result considering Miami's workload recently. There's going to be a fun goal in there. I don't know who it's going to come from. There's going to be a weird goal. There will be a PK. I don't know which team it'll be on, but I know the reaction will be hilarious regardless. It's 3-3 feels really good just because it would be dumb to bet against Miami's ability to score, even though I think the Fire are really coming into their own defensively, albeit I do not know who's starting at center back.
Why?
Injuries. You've had Jack Elliott and Sam Rogers have some injuries, and we're not entirely sure. They'll probably be listed as questionable. If they are available, they'd probably start, but then it would go down to Carlos Terán, Omar Gonzalez. Hell, Christopher Cups might even play. That kid's 16, and he is really good, right? He's a top-end prospect. He's a future USMNT kid, and it's interesting.
His name is Cups?
Christopher Cups, Cupps. So
I already like him.
He's this kid's nuts. Today, it's 30 degrees outside and it's, wintry rain mix, and he's in shorts and a t-shirt. It's like, what are you doing, dude? I want to find
any better. I was in shorts and a t-shirt today here in
but like I had layers under my pants. I'm like, I want to be comfortable, and he's like, nah, masculinity, and so pulls that whole thing off. And it's just. I talked to Greg Berhalter about it earlier this week, and then he talked about it during press availability. Like, he's willing to let a kid fail if it happens. Like, center backs are going to fail against Inter Miami's talent if Inter Miami's talent does what they want, right? So if he has the talent to play in MLS, why not let him play this weekend? If he plays poorly, anyone can play poorly against Inter Miami. But if he plays well, what would that do for a young man's confidence? And if you have a 16 turning 17-year-old center back who is comfortable playing MLS minutes, that is something you can't expect to have in MLS. That is the ultimate value. That's the quarterback on a rookie contract. It's the homegrown teenager in MLS. And the Fire have a couple. Orahel is one of them, but his deal is running out, and Cups, they just signed to a pro deal. So if we'll see.
I know St. Louis has a connection to Germany, and that's why they bring over so many German players. Is there a reason why Chicago doesn't really get any Latin American players? Because they brought in Bastian Schweinsteiger, they brought in Shaqiri, they got Kuipers now. Like, they don't really go for the Spanish. I don't. Chicago has a heavy Latin community. I figured that they'd want to at least attract some people to the stadium.
I mean, there's like a lot of Russian people and a lot of people from like Macedonia and stuff like that. So at least that's when I went out there. I worked for a company that's out there, so they're heavy out there in Bolingbrook.
You find everybody everywhere.
Yes.
It's a bit remarkable, but I had got to interview Kalen Carr last week, so the first thing I asked is, okay, Cuauhtémoc Blanco, right? Like, give me your Blanco stories, everything. And his whole thing was everywhere you went, everywhere in Chicago, he was a celebrity. And that's, in MLS, unless it's Messi or Beckham or whomever, that's not a thing. Yeah. Obviously, Suarez, Miami is different. Yeah. But it's Mexican superstars would be beloved in Chicago.
Because there's a huge population of Mexicans out there.
Yeah, Polish superstar. David Pareba, who did his ACL in preseason's a Polish player who, he was MLS next MVP or next pro MVP last year. So he would have been that guy for them. But in terms of the last few years, I mean, they did a lot from South America. I couldn't tell you why. It's a different front office now. Georg Heitz and Sebastian Pelzer are out and back in Europe. So that might be part of it. But also, a lot of teams, especially if you're dealing with Mexican teams, the prices are usually going to be higher. So it becomes tough. They had Alonso Aceves on loan 2 years ago, I think, at this point, and he captained Pachuca in a friendly recently, which was kind of bonkers to see. So they've tried. They didn't last year. Last year was just a weird year in general with the Chicago Fire, but very much so. I think everybody in the building on the business side is aware of what having a very strong Mexican player or a strong Latin American player would do for this team, because a lot of these fans are Latin American, and that's a lot of the population of Chicago still. So that is a lot of the core Fire fans. You hear it at the grounds every week. So it would be very, very smart to have that type of player, and the media is represented in that way too here. It's really fun.
Well, I mean, Mike V is mentioning here they had John Espinosa and canned him.
That system was interesting. That was just kind of a wrong fit. Like, I don't even think about the George Campos story is apparently insane too. Like, my buddy Alex Calabrese wrote about it last year. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be the starter, and they bring him in. It's a whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So they would, if it's the right deal. They're not going to force anything. Definitely Greg Berhalter is not going to force anything for commercial purposes. He's too stubborn on the sporting side to do that. So I would expect it to happen at some point, just because it has to, right? Like, there's too many great Mexican players to just not have one on your team at a certain point.
Right. I figured it's like an obvious choice, but I don't know. I was just thinking the Schweinsteiger, Shaqiri. I was just like,
that was just a lot of different things, and just who if you're Heitz and Peltzer, the old regime, those guys came through Europe, right? And
that's right. Chicago did have John Duran.
John Duran, and he, they've had a couple guys. South America, different for South America and Latin America with that previous regime. Definitely in Central America, it was different. Yeah. So they had the ability to find John Duran. I think the scout was Andy Wers, and they made a whole lot of money off of him.
And they're still making money.
Still making money, and it sounds like he's going to be moving again, which is. It's just death, taxes, and John Duran in the transfer rumor mill. It's really something else.
Hey, I'm Colombian. I love John Duran. All right, Chris, prediction.
I'm going to go with 3-2 that Inter Miami wins.
Oh, I was going to go with the same scoreline.
Yeah, I think it's going to be high scoring. I think Joe makes a lot of sense in what he says. That look, Chicago has a really good offense. We have a really good offense. I think that this could make out to be a really fun game to watch. Absolutely.
Do you think Drake starts or Ustadi?
I think that Drake might start. I mean, why not, right? If you're gonna put some rotation, let Drake get some game in, right?
I think we'll see a similar rotation to last week, where you had Toto Avila starting with Lujan randomly, Ian Freya right back. You'll get Allende this time starting at wing instead of was it Fafa that started with Segovia? No, it wasn't Fafa. It was no,
Robert it wasn't
Taylor.
Fafa. Yes,
It was Robert Taylor. So
Taylor
I think that
took the left side.
I think Allende will start just because he just came back. Get him going a little bit. Might sub out early. And Busquets will play because he got to rest for the Wednesday game. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But I also think 3-2. 3-2. Okay. I'm going to go with you. 3-2. Joe convinced me that it's going to be a high scoring game. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Joe. And I'm going to bet the over on the 2.5 goals. All right. I guess it's we are done with the preview now. Chris, I know that you want to mention a couple things here about your hate for Chicago. Before I do though, Joe, I see that frame behind your head with the Jordan 1s. Is that just because you're from Chicago? What? Because you're from Chicago, or you?
That I love that also, but I do love the Jordan 1s. But also, that's my man Arturo Torres. Arturo Draws is the artist. I just got a couple of his things around my place. Okay. And that was one thing. You know, I don't know about you guys with art stuff. Like, it was when artists are willing to sell shorter print stuff for affordable rates, I like to pounce on it. And that was one of those things. And it's a good conversation starter, clearly. So here we go.
My last question before I let Chris take over. 30 years without purchasing cards. I just started up again this year.
Oh, God.
And I see that you're into it.
Yeah.
Any suggestions? Because now that I'm new to the game again and I'm seeing that it's taking on a life of its own, any suggestions?
Don't buy boxes and packs. Buy what you
literally just opened up a whole box.
I know.
Yeah, no, don't buy complete sets. Like that's
no.
You're
complete sets are horrible.
That's bad. Those are. I mean, you might get like a 5-pack of silvers, but there's 800 options of who that could be. So if you are trying, what are you trying to do with this? Right? Is it just a hobby thing? Okay, so you're not trying to make money. So pick players you like or whatever you want, and then. Pardon?
Go on eBay?
Go on eBay, or also just hit watch on everything. Don't buy anything. You'll usually get 20% or something, kind of a discount from the seller.
Yeah.
So first off, like, definitely do that, but just sit on things and wait and see how these things actually make you feel, because you can accumulate a lot very quickly. And the market is insane because it fluctuates like crazy. The only thing that, really those are fun.
The thing is, I was still going to say, it's a hobby, but I think it's just, I enjoy the opening of the packs.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So like, if you tell me like, go out and like, go find an Aaron Judge card. Yeah, I can do that, but it's not as fun. Okay.
So then what I will tell you is don't buy at Target or Walmart or something. Don't buy, because those boxes, the retail boxes, now you showed me a big fun one, the super boxes, those come with, I think the big one, there's a couple of extra cards. So that's a better value than your typical like rectangular 3D $25 box that you will buy that used to be $17 to $20. And now they're usually $35. It's insane, the fluctuation in prices since COVID. So you're definitely, the reason I say go to the hobby stores is you buy... you buy the packs from actual hobby boxes. So like those have the higher odds. Those are guaranteed to have an autograph or more of the numbered cards in each box. So yeah, you might pay $5 to $7. Well, you just got to go to the store and just discipline. The whole thing is discipline. Do not overspend. I see babies in your background, pictures of babies. Do not overspend. Okay. And treat it like gambling. You can't spend what you can't afford to lose. So especially when it comes to like MLS, unless it's Messi or someone who's famous internationally, those are fun, right? There's just not a lot of resale value. So you just got to be very calculated.
MLS cards are just not the same.
No, they're not.
Danny has rookie basketball cards that
he
doesn't want to send them in.
Oh, see,
Oh,
that's
I got
the
like
thing.
30 Kobe Bryant rookie cards.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, go send those in. Clean them up. Like, okay, so this is why you need to
Danny,
go
what
to
are
the
you
hobby
doing?
I gotta
places.
mail them out though. I don't like
No,
that. I
no,
mail
no,
them
no,
out. I
no.
gotta wait like
This
3 or
is why
4
you go to
months.
your store. You go to your local store that has a lot of these stores. Find one that also does the PSA authentication, and they will do all the hard work for you. They will send it in. It might cost 5 or 10% more than the normal price online for PSA authentication, but who cares? They'll do it. They're incentivized to, get you a better result because you'll come back and, okay, if you get a 10 on these Kobe's, let them share it on their socials that they helped you do it or something, right? Like, give them a reason to help you. So definitely, if you have Kobe's, MJ's, LeBron's, D Wade's, his market's interesting. I think he'll only go up because he's incredibly likable and his profile's only gonna. He's also my favorite player ever, so like this is slightly biased.
Because he's from
But
Chicago. There you go.
yeah, and the Bulls were really like I'm born in 1996, right? So I didn't get any of the fun. Like I was 2 the last time, so like
Well, it wasn't
my
fun for us.
yeah, like but
Well, I'm a Knicks fan, so.
Oh
So,
yeah, but John Starks, you had that, and Ewing. I love Patrick Ewing, man. He's such a legendary. Those teams were so. I mean, the Anthony Mason stories in and of itself is worth it. So
Oh,
those
Biggie
teams,
made a
but yeah,
song with Anthony Mason story.
I'm being no comment. I don't want to get dragged down that. But yeah, just
But
be careful with what you buy, and talk to people and like don't trust people who aren't willing to just have a conversation with you. If they're just trying to sell you stuff, yeah. And you can just DM me too if you have questions, because at this point, like I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, 'cause
yeah, he's
like
gonna
I said,
have
I got a
questions
bunch of
because
Kobe.
he's
All my
Yeah.
cards are from the 90s, and I
Yeah.
stopped in 2003.
So some of them might be shockingly worth nothing, but Kobe stuff is a good market to keep. And then
I
around
figured.
03, yeah, it's just kind of like whose rookies do you have? Do you have like it's annoying KG stuff doesn't do great, but if you got Duncan's or something in there, there's stuff. It's just
we're gonna have to
not.
talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk
Yeah.
with
Talk
you for sure
offline.
after this, Danny.
For sure.
Is ketchup acceptable on a hot dog?
Whatever you want to eat on a hot dog, man. Like I don't care. Like I'm of this mindset. Like I don't understand how people put a full tomato on their hot dog with the pickle.
Oh, I don't know
Like
about that either.
like it's just not for like the Chicago dog is fine. Like every once in a while, like mustard, sure. Like I do it with mustard and grilled onions typically. That's how I got a hot dog. But it like especially with a hot dog, right? It's not real food. We don't really want to talk about what it is. So whatever makes you like it and makes you want to eat it, like all power to you. It's my same thing with deep dish. Like if you like deep dish, all power to you. It's good. I'd like it crispy if you get it. I never pay for it if I order it because like it's not my thing. So I make my buddies order it. So I don't have the account to get the rewards and then continue ordering it. So, it's one of those things where if you like it, sure. But yeah, I don't food shame, especially with hot dogs, right? Like, no, eat it. Yeah, it's not clean food. Eat it how you want. It's like considering
I like
water.
Joe. I like Joe.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I
You're
like me
speaking
too
his
sometimes.
language too.
Yeah, you got me. It's all working out very well.
And he doesn't like the lasagna pizza either. So
No, it's because it's not a pizza; it's a lasagna.
It all has its place, right? But it's just it's
It
one
has no
slice.
place in this earth. I don't know. It has a place. Just don't call it pizza.
Yeah, well then I mean, I don't care. I like this is one of those things I legitimately don't care. It's like okay, that works. If it I don't order it, it's fine. I like thin crust, so I'm like yeah, I kind of agree with you. But I work in Chicago, so I didn't say that.
are we doing all the questions, Danny? Are we doing all of them?
No, that's a lot. All right, go for it.
Go
It's a
for it.
lot.
I'm
Joe said
here.
his game.
I'm
Okay,
here.
Joe, here we go. You got to make a choice. 5 pieces of steak, 6 pieces of toast. Which way you going?
Okay, so toast I'm going 4, steak I am going 3.
Okay, all right. So middle of the pack stuff here. We got sandwiches. How do you cut your sandwich? Diagonal or vertical?
Definitely vertical, even though I'm not proud of it.
Yes. No, be extra proud. Okay. Don't be a weirdo like Danny. Now, Danny also pushes the shopping cart when he shops. I am a weirdo. I pull the shopping cart when I shop. When you go shopping,
Joe is a basket guy for sure. He's a basket
yeah,
guy.
he looks like a basket guy. Are you a pusher, a puller, or none of the above and you're a basket guy?
So I am a basket guy. You nailed that because
Knew it.
Chicago's got the stupid bag law, the 7 cents for a bag. So,
What?
oh yeah, this is a thing. If you ever come to Chicago, bring
What the
reusable
hell?
bags. They'll charge you for a bag. Yeah, it's really frustrating. Thanks, Cook County. But so I very often shop with like one bag in mind. So that's why the basket happens. Having said that, I am a pusher in a cart. I do enjoy it because I am still someone who will gain some speed if I don't see anybody around and jump on the back.
Nice.
There you go.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my parents. They were always there for me and my sister. Really appreciate them.
Well, let's see where you go this way. Boy bands, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
He was born in 96. He might not know.
He might not
Backstreet
even
Boys.
know.
No, I got an older sister. My sister made sure that Backstreet Boys is the answer. Backstreet has
There
always
we
been
go.
back in
That's
this
my
house.
guy, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe,
And
that's
Timberlake's
my
just
guy.
not that likable anymore, right? Like I like the other NSYNC guys, but I don't think Timberlake's that likable anymore.
He's
I
fallen
like
off,
Timberlake,
for
but
sure.
none of his new stuff is good.
Yeah,
Does
and
he
he's
have new
just
stuff? I don't know.
I don't know. It's just I don't trust people who are that chummy with Jimmy Fallon.
Now, the horse question here, Danny.
Oh,
Would you
boy.
take on one
Oh,
duck-sized horse or 100? No. Would you take on one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
yeah, I think the Fire's social team just asked them this question today. My man Ty put that out, and I've had time to think about that.
This specific one?
Yeah, today.
Oh, Rick A.
Yeah.
Rick A. made it seem like it was his idea. Okay, Rick.
No, it doesn't matter. It's a good question. And so initially I wanted to say a horse-sized duck, right? But then you think about ducks and how angry those things are, as small as they are. Here's the thing about horses. When they get angry, they're something else. But I feel like I could make some work with my size 9 boots on the small horses. A giant duck, I am horrified of what that could do to me. And horses are huge. So that thing's taller than you, and that bill's got to be a couple feet. It's like, nah. And they probably smell worse than a horse somehow. Yeah, nah. No.
I'd take the horse-sized duck. At least I can keep it in front of me the whole time.
That thing's gonna have some speed though.
100 horses, like
you just gotta stay on your
a
feet,
lot.
though.
Yeah, just
You
don't
might
fall.
not.
Just
Quick
start
feet.
sweeping them in.
It's like the barrel run or the yeah.
It's
Just
100
sweep
of them.
them
I don't
in.
know.
Soccer kick them. You're messy.
All right, Joe. Thank you for having fun with us. We really appreciate you, especially on the short notice, jumping on
my
with
pleasure.
us, and then giving me some trading card knowledge also. Because
Just be responsible.
I'm diving in.
Don't lose family over it, and just buy what you want.
Does it get that bad? I just want to do it.
People, well, it's the thing is the chase, right? It's the chase of trying to get that one of one or whatever that you'll never pull. Or like I pulled one of one, and it's a crappy guy who never made the majors other than a game, right? Like I couldn't even tell you where it is because
I'm not worried about one of ones. I just like to give me some cool inserts. But yeah, I know that's like the thing now.
Yeah, but either way,
that used to be the thing for me. I used to just want some cool looking inserts.
Well, yeah, that's great. They'll be worth all of 5 cents for you now.
Yeah. Like I said, doing it for a hobby, not for the money. But if I pull out one on one, I'm not complaining either.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joe, let everybody know where they can find you because I saw that you got a lot of things going on that Twitter bio.
Yeah, just follow me on socials at Joe Chatz on Twitter, at Joe Chatz Sports on Instagram. I'm at On Tap Sportsnet, Collectibles on SI, Hobby News Daily. Apparently, we're relaunching again soon in the spring, so look forward to that again. You'll just hear me opining on people spending too much money and why is Topps MLS products coming out at the end of the year every year. And so that's where you'll find me. Couple of projects. Look out for a YouTube thing coming out later this summer. And yeah, that's me. Just follow along, and I will be. I act like I know something about everything. Confidence is key. Confidence is key, and just nodding, especially like when you're working with guys who don't necessarily speak English well, and you just want them to feel good about making a point. Oh yeah. So it works well. But either way, yeah, just feel free to Google Joe Chatz. That's where you find it, and not many people have that ridiculous last name.
I'm shooting you a follow right now.
Oh, cheers! Cheers. Well,
that's your legit last name. I thought that was just
No, it would
Joe Chatz.
That is.
Oh no, that's got to be up there. We got a top 10. We got to make this top 10 list, Chris.
That is we got the top 10 last name.
We got Synchronagle. Now we got Chatz.
There's some good names. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, conversation with a Z. I wish I was like notable enough to be like, oh yeah, I'm worth having a fake name over. No, that's my last name.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, Chris, any final words?
No, man, it's time. It's time to play against Chi-Town, and it's gonna be a fun game. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Absolutely. For those 100 that are in the live chat right now, we're gonna jump over to it's about MLS fans to do some quick predictions for this weekend's matches. So if you got nothing else going on, join us there, Battered MLS fans. We're gonna start that in about 4 minutes. So we'll see you then. If you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you that are in the live chat, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour, and we'll be back. Oh no, we went 5 days this week, Chris. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
So we'll be back for the post game on Sunday. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us all week. If you don't join us for the Battle MLS fans, and we'll be back on Sunday. So until the next one, have a good one.